Hi folks, I'm the Bald Guy, and these are Bald Guy Basics. Today I'm going to show you a trick that is almost free. I mean, there might be a small fee involved for you, not for me. But I've told you I make knives, and here's some of the knives I've made. I've had this knife blade since I was a child, so this thing probably goes back 40 or more years, and it has been beat to death. And it had an old rubber handle, and I think I even made a video of, I made myself a stacked leather handle for this thing. And this is just this is a big box store knife, a Walmart, a Lowe's hardware knife. And I did not like the handle, so I made myself a stacked leather handle. Let me see what else I've got here. Over here, just a moment. This was a kitchen knife that the handle broke. The wife had it, and I made the wood handle for this. Now, I'm not here to promote my knife making skills because they're not that impressive, but they're nice for me. But what I did find is with wood, with leather, with the materials I'm working with, very often I ended up with a knife whose texture of handle was not pleasing to me, especially with the leather. I polished these with the bench grinder with a polishing wheel, and it put a nice shine on them, but they felt a little slick. They lacked that texture that made me feel like I had a good grip. So I came up with a solution, and it's a solution that will work not just if you're a knife maker, but it will work on a number of your tools, both in your shop and perhaps even in your kitchen. This last summer, I was going by a farmer's market, and I ran up on a man who sold beeswax. He had some little, they look like metal ingots the way they're shaped, and then he had some bars of beeswax. And I think these were $1 or $2 a piece, and they're quite hard, by the way. They're not malleable with your hand. Different locations of bees, I guess is the best way to put it, will produce different color beeswax. So I bought a couple of different colors. And today I was just, I was looking around, found this knife. I said, I need to hone this a little bit. So I was playing with my hone, and I realized, man, that's really slick. A very simple cure. Get yourself some beeswax, and if you don't have beeswax, guess what? Candle wax will do. If the candle has some kind of a finish on the outside that might have a chemical, just cut the candle in half and rub it on there. I've just done these. Just rub it onto your handle, as simply as this. Now, I have a boy, I see some particulate on this knife. I have a texture on my knife that is just tacky enough. It's not tacky enough that, I'm going to stick to paper. It doesn't. But it's tacky enough that the knife feels secure in my hand. I've done this with some of my outdoor tools, things like a splitting maul, an axe, even a hatchet, things with wood handles. I try to oil those from time to time. Boiled linseed oil is a very nice product to use. I've discussed that in other videos. But simply taking this beeswax, and the color is irrelevant, makes a much nicer texture, a feel. Now, I've waxed this knife before, and if you look closely here, you'll see that the wax does pick up some of the oils and the dirt from your hands, because this is a shop knife now. And if you notice the white edge, I am bad to look at this knife and think that this is my cutting edge when the cutting edge is here. So I just put me a white mark to remind me. But I'm going to step over here, and you'll probably be able to see me. I'm just going to buff this thing for 5 seconds, and I'll show you what you can accomplish. All right, I know, I took just a little bit longer than 5 seconds, but this is especially pronounced when you have wood. The wax, when you buff it, of course it heats a little bit, but it will discolor. But look at what that does in terms of the appearance of the handle. You may not like that, but I absolutely love it. It has a very rustic look, a very old-fashioned look. That buffing serves another purpose though. It moves that wax. Buffing, of course, heats it a little bit. It gets it into the pores of the wood or the leather, as that may be. And you end up with a really nice texture, but I actually like the look of it. So a little bit of wax, whether it's beeswax or candle wax or whatever wax you have to have. The reason I love beeswax the best, and I guess this would apply to a lot of candle wax, it's hard. This stuff is really, it's really hard. And I find that this, I forgot what he called this darker one, but it's harder than the lighter colored one. But it's a nice handy thing, and wax is chemically inert. It's not going to poison anything. It's not going to hurt anything. And over time, as it wears off, it's easily reapplied. So just a nice note, if you have something that you wish had a little bit better grip. I've noticed as I've aged, my grip, part of it's because of the size of my hands. As I've grown over the years, your hands fight largeness, if that's the best way to put it. I can't get my grip wrapped around something. It's not a lack of strength. It's just a function of my size. And a little bit of sticky texture is a great addition to, or a great advantage for my use. You can also use the wax on leather as well. Gives you a nice seal. So if you had, I've made some of these ratty looking little holsters. But if I'm going to wear this on the tractor a lot and it's going to be inclement weather, you can take these things and buff them over the surface, and you've placed a nice little weatherproof coating. There are other means of doing this. I do understand that, and you might like oil better, but you can see the wax, which is very easily applied, does not discolor this at all. So that's just your lesson for today. I hope you are enjoying the videos. If you are, I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll leave us a like. You can also, I cross-post these over on Facebook, so you can find us there. Facebook, by the way, is probably the easiest way to message me. Although I love the comments, I try to respond to as many of them as I can. But just continue sharing the videos if you will, and I'll see you on the next video.